So, in the era where the technology it is reigning supreme over there, this term cybersecurity has taken the center stage over there. But what does it actually mean? So, guys, when we are talking about the cybersecurity, in a simple terms, cybersecurity it is all about protecting our digital realm from our computer systems to our networks and the data we are having over there. From whom? From unauthorized access, attacks, damage, or theft over there. So the cybersecurity it is like a set of protective measure we are having for our digital stuffs we are having, right? Like we are having the guards and the locks for our computers and our online activities. So in the cybersecurity we are having our firewalls, right? We can think of our firewalls as the digital security guards which are going to control who will be coming in over there and who will be going out over there of our computer or of a network over there, right? For that we will be following some rules, right? The firewalls they will be following the predefined rules to keep out the bad stuff. Then over there we are also using our endpoint securities. We are using the endpoint security which is like putting locks on each and every device, like we are having our mobile phones, we are having our computer systems, we are having our tablets, right? So for that what we are doing is we are keeping the logs in our systems. Along with that we are also having our antivirus. We are also installing the antivirus, the anti-malware programs which are working like the superheroes for us, right? Who will be protecting our devices from the viruses, from the bad softwares we are having, which we are also calling them as a malware. Along with that we have to also make sure that we are continuously updating our devices, right? Because our updates, our patches, they are going to fix the weak points, the bad guys over there, right? So over here our updates they will be containing the patches for the previously discovered vulnerabilities, the weakness we are having, which can be exploited, which can be taken advantage by the bad guys we are having, by the attackers we are having. Along with that, we are also using your encryption, right? We are also using our encryption over there, which will be making our data unreadable. Like, let's say over there, we are having two users. Now, if this user he wants to send some data to this user too. So what he will be doing is he will be encrypting this data, right? He will be encrypting this data into a secret language that only this receiver can understand it. So our encryption, it will be making our data unreadable to anyone who is not having the decryption key to decode this data over here. Right. Along with that, when we are talking about the cybersecurity, it is not just about preventing the problems. It is also about dealing with them, like whenever any incident will be happening. So the cybersecurity, it is like having a plan when something goes wrong. For that, we are having your incident response and recovery over there, like how to get things back to the normal and fix any damage over there. So the cybersecurity, it is like having a team of our digital bodyguards, locks, and secret codes to keep our digital world safe. From whom? From the attackers. So that is what our cybersecurity over here. After this, we are having the information security. So over here, when we are talking about the information security is what? Protecting the data. And what we are going to do over there, like generally we are having the three pillars that are related to your security. That is your CIA. And we are also calling them as your CIA triad. So whenever we are trying to protect all these three pillars, that is our confidentiality about information, the integrity about information, and the availability about information, that is what known as your information security. So the information security, it is a broader term we are having, which will be encompassing the protection of all types of information, regardless of whatever form they are having, whether they are having physical or the digital form we are having, right? But when we are talking about the cyber security, on the other hand, right, it will be focusing on protecting our digital information, our systems, our networks from the cyber threats. Over here, we are having the cyber security, right? We are having the cyber security. So as I was saying that our cyber security, it will be securing our devices. It will be helping us to secure our devices from any sort of unauthorized access over there, from the attacks, from the attackers, right? So over here, our cyber security, it will be helping us to protect our sensitive data, right? Over here, we are having the vast amount of sensitive information, which can include our personal, our financial, our business data that are being stored digitally. So over there, our cyber security, it is essential for preventing any sort of unauthorized access, theft, or manipulation of this information over there, right? Because over there, the breaches, they can lead to our identity theft, the financial loss, and some irreversible damage to individual as well as to our organization's reputation over there. Along with that, our cybersecurity, it will be also helping us to maintain our privacy by ensuring that our confidential communications and our personal information, they are remaining secure over there. So the individuals who are having the right to our privacy, so over there, our cybersecurity, it will be safeguarding them against the unwanted surveillance we are having, the unauthorized data collection we are having, or some other attacks we are having. Along with that, it will be also helping in the economic stability, right? Because nowadays our global economy, it is increasingly depending over our digital infrastructure. So for them, the cyber security, it is a very important or a vital for maintaining our economic stability by safeguarding our financial transactions, the trade secrets between the organization over there, our intellectual properties we are having, the critical infrastructures we are having, because our cyber attacks, they can disrupt our economic activities, and they can have a far reaching consequences over there, like affecting our businesses and our individuals also. Along with that, our nations, they are also heavily relying on our digital systems for the communication, the defense, and the critical infrastructure. So over there also, our cyber security, it is a integral to our national security, as the cyber threats, they can target our government institutions also, the military operations we are having, and the essential services we are having, right? So if we are having a breach in our national security, they can also have some severe consequences. So making our robust cyber security measures, it is essential for protecting our country's interest over there. Along with that, it will be also preventing the cyber crimes. Our cybercrime, it will be encompassing our criminal activities, right, which will be involving our computers, our networks, right? So in these cybercrimes, our computers, they will be serving as tools for executing the malicious activities over there, or they can also look like the potential targets for the attackers over there, right? So in the cybercrime, the attacker, they will be employing our computer as a weapon to engage in malicious activities like your fraud, identity theft, or your privacy stealing over there, right? So in the cybercrimes, the attacker, they will be either targeting our computer networks or devices, or either they will be using our computer networks to perform some other criminal activities we are having. Along with that, it will be also helping us to maintain our trust and reputation, right? The individuals, the organizations, they must trust that their online activities, they are secure, right? Because over here, if we are going in a particular website, let's say we are opening a website over there, then we should be having the idea that this particular website is secure. It is a legitimate website we are having. For that, we are looking into the digital certificates. We are looking into the HTTPS protocol over there, right? By that, we are getting the idea that the website is a legitimate one over there. So the cybersecurity, it will be helping us to build and maintain the trust by protecting against the data breaches and also ensuring the integrity of our online transactions we are having. So if we are having the strong cybersecurity posture, so it will be contributing to a positive reputations we are having, right? And it will be also giving the confidence to our stakeholders, our customers over there, the individuals, and along with that, the organizations over there, right? So the cybersecurity, it matters because it is the foundation of our integrity, the stability, and the trustworthiness of our digital ecosystem we are having. Because as our technology, it is continuously advancing, the importance of our secure, robust cybersecurity practices, it cannot be overstated in protecting the individuals, the organizations, and the overall societies and the worldwide we are having. After this, we are having some essential terminologies, and thus the very first one we are having the hack value. So when we are talking about the hack value, so over here, when we are talking about the hack value means anything which is worth doing or it is your worth something, right? So as you are saying, it is the notion used by our hackers over there, right? So over there, when we are talking about the hack value, it will be refers to our interest or our your you can say our goal over there for our hacking activity. So the hack value, it is oftenly associated with the creativity and the technical prowess we are having, which are being demonstrated by our attackers over there. Like let's say we are having the hackers, right? Let's say we are having the hackers over there and they want to defame, right? They want to defame a website. So for that, what they will be doing, either they will be, you can say, performing the attacks like we are having your DOS attack, right? Or over there, let's say these our hackers, they are our hacktivists, right? So over there, these activists, what they will be doing is they will be performing the protest, right? They will be performing the protest against this website to showcase their hack value over there. So to preventing our, you can say this hack value, it will be involving like regularly security auditing our systems, right, to identify and address the vulnerabilities proactively. After this, we are having the vulnerability. Vulnerability means to say any flaw or the weakness which can be taken advantage by the attackers over there, right? So the vulnerabilities we can have inside our softwares and the configurations are in our human behavior over there, right? Like previously we were having the attack with the name WannaCry, Okay, so over here previously we were having this WannaCry ransomware, right? And for that, the attackers they were using a exploit, right? They were using this exploit, the malicious code we are having, which will be helping us to take the advantage of this vulnerability, right? For this, the attacker they were using the exploit with the name your eternal blue, right? So it was a like a 0 day we were having, right? So over there in your 2017, the attackers they have used this eternal blue to exploit our system, right? Because over there we were having a vulnerability in our SMB protocol, in our service message protocol we are having, right? So over here when we are talking about this SMB protocol, it will be allowing our systems to share the files, printers, and the other resources on the network over there. So this particular vulnerability, it allowed the attackers to get the access of our system, right? To get the access of our system. Then after this, they were performing malicious activities over there, right? After this, they were, you can say, performing the malicious activities. So that was what a vulnerability we are having. After this, we are having a payload. Now, when we are talking about a payload is what? It is a part of our exploit over here, which will be helping us to perform our intended actions inside the victim's system we are having, right? Like destroying a system, creating the backdoors inside a system, or hijacking his computer. So that is what your payload is. After this, we are having the 0 day attack. So when we are talking about the 0 day attack, it is what? It is going to target the vulnerability which are unknown. Like let's say over here, this is a developer and he's going to create an application, right? So we are having some normal users who will be using this application. But now attacker will be coming and he will be finding a vulnerability inside this application. So what he will be doing is he's going to exploit it. So the developer he is not having any idea about this vulnerability, right? So this 0 day attack, it is going to target the vulnerabilities which are unknown to our vendors, to our security communities we are having, right? And it will be occurring before this developer, it will be releasing a patch to fix this vulnerability over here. Then we are having our daisy chaining. This daisy chaining, it will be involving like exploiting multiple vulnerabilities to compromise the system over there, right? So the daisy chaining, it is like a series of connected attack over here, right? So you can consider like this hacker is going to use the phishing email, right? The attacker will be coming and he will be using this phishing email to get the access, of our system over there, right? After this, once he will be getting the access of our system, then he will be exploiting the vulnerabilities we are having in our system. Then what will be happening is he will be trying to escalate his privileges over there, right? What will be happening over there is he will be just getting the user access. But now, let's say with the help of this user access, he was not able to find any juicy information inside this system. After that, what he will be doing is he will be trying to get the admin's access of this system. For that, he will be escalating the privileges. So to preventing this daisy chaining attacks, what we have to do is we have to get the multi-layered security approach over there, right? We will be monitoring for any sort of malicious behaviors we are having. Then we are having your doxing. Now, and the doxing, the attackers, they will be coming and they will be stealing our personal information. They will be stealing our private information over there. And then after that, they are going to make them public. Great. Along with that, you guys have also seen many a times on the internet, you will be finding that the people's credit card information, right? You will be finding that the credit card information, along with that, you will be finding the CV number also. So that is what you're doxing over here. Along with that, many a time you guys have seen like the posts in the Facebook and the Instagram, right? So what will be happening over here is the peoples they will be finding our identity card. Like let's say they are finding our Aadhaar card over here, right? So after that, what they will be doing is they will be making a post in their Facebook account, and they will be saying that we just found this identity card over here. You can come to this location and you can take it from me, right? So over here, what will be happening is this is also a type of doxing. This is also a type of doxing, but and thus the users they were not having any intention for making the private information of this individual public over there. So over there, what these users what they can do is they can blur some numbers of that particular identity card. So that is what our doxing over here. After that, we are having a bot. So over here, when we are talking about a bot is what it is a compromised system, right? A bot is what a compromised system which can be controlled remotely, right? So over here, what the attackers will be doing is they will be compromising a system. They will be compromising the system over here, and after that, they can also use this system for some other malicious task. So this compromised system over here, the attacker they are controlling it remotely over there. So it will be known as your bot over here, right? Like a sacrificed software or a compromised system, it will be known as your bot. Then over here again going with the payload, right? So payload is what it is a malicious code we are having, right? It is a malicious code we are having, or you can say a part of our exploit, which will be helping us to perform our malicious actions, our intended action, whatever thing we want to do inside the victim's system over there, right? So this payload over here, it can include like our ransomwares we are having our spywares we are having, right? Along with that, we are also using the payloads in the phishing attack, like the which will be including like our malicious attachments we are having, right? Which will be including our malicious attachments inside our phishing mails, right? So whenever any user he will be clicking on that particular attachment, he will be you can say downloading that attachment, a malware will be installed inside the victim system. So to mitigate the you can say phishing attack like this, we have to enable the email filtering. We have to also give the user awareness training so that we can mitigate these kinds of threats. After this, we are having your real world cybersecurity incident. So over here we are having this Uber, right? It is one of the well-known company we are having for the ride sharing, right? So on your 2020-22, they have faced a security breach, right? And inside the breach, the attacker he infiltrated their organization system, right? And along with that, he has also taken the access of their critical resources they were having, right? And this breach it became you can say evident when you can say a 17-year-old you can say kid over there he claimed to have compromised the Uber system. And later on, he shared the evidence of the intrusion over there. Right along with that, he has also shared the snapshots of the vital assets and the vulnerability reports. Right along with that, the attacker he also announced the success to the entire company through the organization wide messaging applications we are having. Right, so over here, this breach, this Uber breach over there, it was having three main phases. Right, so over there we were having the first phase, which is attack your attack tracing. Right, so inside this what we are having is we are having our reconnaissance, which is also known as your information gathering. Right, it is also known as your information gathering over here. Now, in the reconnaissance, what the attacker will be doing is they will be trying to obtain as much information as they can about the attacker, about the victim over there, right? The attackers, they will be gathering as much information as they can about the victim. So for that, over here, our attackers, right, they have obtained the stolen credential from the dark web to access the Uber's internal network over there, because the Uber they were having the failure to monitor their dark web forums, right, which was leading to the missed opportunity to address their compromised employee information over there. Then the attackers they came to the second phase, which was your weaponization. Right, so over here the attackers they came to your second phase over here, which was your weaponization over here. Right, so the attackers they have, you can say, taken the credential from the dark web. Right, so they were all weaponized for your unauthorized access. So for that what they can do is the Uber, right, they were not having any sort of, you can say, security measures, so they should be having the security measures on their places. Right, and later on the attacker he attempted to connect to the Uber's network. Right, and they were initiating the multi-factor authentication fatigue attack over there. Right, so over there the Ubers they were having failures to monitor login attempts properly over there. Right, along with that they were having your lack of security awareness training for their employees. Right, and also they were not having any sort of strategic approach to prevent unauthorized access. Then after that the attackers they gain the, you can say, admin level access by hacking the contractor's account and located the privileged credentials they were having. Right, so over there the Ubers they were not having any sort of, you can say, uh, storage, a proper storage over there, right, for our passwords. Right, so over there they were storing the credentials in the clear text without the encryption. Right, along with that they were having lack of your endpoint host checks, the risk based authentication mechanisms we are having. Right, and they were having your single sign-on configurations over there. Right, after this the attackers they initiated the command and control, the CNC. Now the attackers they established the control over their sensitive and, you can say, services over there. For that they were using this command and control server. Right, so this command and control server it is going to create a connection between the victim and the attacker over there, so the attacker now he can send data back and forth over there. Right, and later on the attackers they choose not to inflict the damage on the Uber systems. Right, so that is what happened in the Uber breach. So in short over here we are having the Uber. Right, so the attacker he came, right, the attacker he came and he started the social engineering over here, right? The attacker, he performed the social engineering, and they were having the Uber, they were having the weakness in their VPN, right? So the attacker, he performed the social engineering over here, and he exploited the multi-factor authentication they were having, the Uber, right? For that, he was saying that I'm talking from this place, right? And I will be sending you the push notification. You have to click on it, right? So once that particular employee, he clicked on it, then the attacker, he was having the access of their system. So that is what happened over there. Along with that, we were also having a famous website with the name Ashley Medicine. Okay, so over here we are having our Ashley Medicine. It is a it was a dating website, right? A very it is one of the high profile cybersecurity incident we were having, right? Which was occurred on year 2015, right? So over there inside the Ashley Medicines, the people from the age of your 18 till your 80, they were having the account inside this, right? So what happened over there is the attackers, they compromised this Ashley Medicine, right? And they were asking for some money, right? They were asking for some money from your Ashley Medicine over here. They were saying that if you won't be giving us this much amount of money, then we are going to make all these data over here public, right? So over here, the peoples from your Ashley Medicines, they ignored their request, right? They ignored their request over there, and after that the attackers, they release the large amount of users data over there, right? And they make it publicly accessible on the internet, right? So that data, it was including their user profiles, their emails, their you can say the transactions they were having, their messages they were having, right? So over here this attack, it gave us severe consequences for many users, because as it exposed their, you can say, affairs over there, right? After that again, right, that was the first time. Then after that again, the attackers, they came and they again compromised the Ashley Medicine, and then they were again asking for the money. Again the Ashley Medicines, they ignored their request, right? And again the attackers, they make their data public, and now this Ashley Medicine, it is no more into the market, right? So after this, like nowadays, you guys have heard we are having a crypto theft attack. Has anyone heard about it? The last pass. Okay, so around your 4.4 million, around your 4.4 million cryptocurrency, it was theft, right? So what happened over there in the last pass is, like the peoples, they were using the last pass, right? They were using this last pass wallet over there to store their assets. Now this last part, it got affected, right? It got the wallets they were having, right? It got affected over there, right? So the users who were storing their crypto keys inside the LastPass, they were all targeted, right? So over here we are giving the advice that the users who are using the LastPass over there, right? You need to transfer your asset for a, you can say, more secure platform for the time being, right? Along with that, some couple of days ago, right, we were also having the attack cloud on your Cloudflare. Okay, see over here we are having this Cloudflare company, right, which is one of the leading cybersecurity and the performance company we are having, right? So over there, this Cloudflare, they have successfully thwarted the thousands of their hyper volumetric DDoS attacks, right? So over there, the alarms, they were, you can say, aspecting around your 89 of the attacks, right? They were, you can say, staggering, you can say, 100 millions per request per second over there, right? So over there, what was happened is the attackers, they were, you can say, exploiting, right? The attackers, they were exploiting the vulnerability we were having in our HTTP version over there, right? So this vulnerability, it was unearthed because as a part of our, you can say, coordinated disclosure effort, right? So over there, the attackers, they got to know about it, and then they were exploiting it, and due to this they have performed the DDoS attack, right? Due to this they have performed the DDoS attack over there, but the Cloudflares, they, you can say, the successfully they have stopped these attacks, right? And they were showing like how important the cybersecurity is, right? Because it is not just about, you can say, protecting one company. It will be depending upon lots of websites and the online services we are having, right? So over here, thus you can say attack and the response from our Cloudflare, right? It is reminding us that our technology, right, it is getting better, right? And so do the challenges of our, you can say, keeping our digital world safe over there, right? So this was the attack we were having on our HTTP version, right? We were having the weakness on our HTTP version with the name your rapid rest vulnerability, right? Which was letting the attackers to mess with the part of their internet systems they are having, right? And due to this, they were overwhelming the servers and making their website hard to reach, right? And that attack we are calling as the DDoS attack, the distributed denial of services, right? So over there, our major services, like we are having the AWS, the Amazon Web Services, we are having our Cloudflare, we are having our Google Cloud, they all were got, you can say, affected by it, right? They all got, you can say, targeted by it, right? So over here, you can imagine, right? You can imagine like we are having lots of attacks, right? We are having lots of attacks over here, and they all are targeting a single website to get overloaded, right? And for that they are sending more than 100 million, right? For that they are sending more than your 100 million you can say request every second over there to overload it. So that type of attack, it will be known as your DDoS attack over there, right? So when we are talking about the DDoS attack, the distributed denial of service, so let's say over here v100 v100 are making the different requests, right? We all 100 over here, we are making the different requests to a single website, right? So over there what will be happening is if that particular website, right, their servers, they are not having the load balancers, they are not having the security measures over there, so what will be happening is that website, it will be getting down, right? Because it will be overwhelmed by these requests. Same thing you guys have also seen, like whenever we are trying to book the railway ticket, especially on the festival seasons. Has anyone seen something like that? The website, it is getting down. So that is a DDoS attack, right? But over here, we peoples, we are not, you can say, having any intention for making this particular website down, right? We were just trying to book our ticket, but due to over there, you can say thousands of peoples, they will be in a single time, they are, you can say, sending the request over there. So over there, that particular website, it is getting down because over here it is getting overwhelmed for the resources, right? So that is what our DDoS attack we are having. Now, for mitigating the DDoS attack, what we should be doing over there is we should be performing we should be having the load balancing over there, right? We should be having the load balancers over there. So when we are talking about the load balancer, right? In a simple way, you can consider, right? Over here, let's say we are having the internet, right? We are having the internet over here, and we are having some users. Now, these users, they will be sending different requests. They will be sending the different requests for the services, and over here we will be having a load balancer. Now, this load balancer, you can consider it as a doctor, right? Or as a security guard over there. Now, over there, this load balancer, it is going to check the health of these, you can say servers over here, right? And it will be distributing the request equally inside these servers we are having. Along with that, it will be also making sure if any of the server, right, it is getting down, right, any of the server it is getting down over there due to some technical issues. So what it will be doing is it is not going to send any request to this server so that this server it can recover over there. After this, we are having the impacts of cyber attacks. So over here, when we are talking about the impacts of your cyber attacks, generally we are having your four types of impacts, right? Generally we are having the four types of impacts over here. And the very first, we are having the reputational impacts. Then after this, we are having the operational impacts. We are having our financial impacts, and we are having the legal impacts. Okay, so over here, when we are talking about the reputational impact, so let's say we are having the organization, right? A very reputed one and one of the secured organization we are having of this time, right? So over here, what the attacker will be doing is they will be coming and they will be getting to know that this is the organization we are having, which is one of the most reputed one, which is the most, you can say, secured one we are having. Now the attackers, they will be finding this website as a challenging one, right? They will be finding the interest on compromising this organization over there, right? So that will be what? That will be the hack value for the attackers, that challenge, that interest over there, right? So after that, the attackers, they will be compromising this organization, right? They are going to compromise this organization. After that, they will be performing the uh, actions like exfiltrating the data, right? Stealing the information they are having inside their systems over there. So what do you say? Is this organization, it is going to have some reputational impacts after the attack? Then we are having the operational impacts, right? So over here in our systems, we were having our data, right? We were having our data, and over here what will be happening is the attackers, they will be compromising this website. Now let's say the attackers, they have also, you can say, deleted our data from our system. So over there, what will be happening over there is the employees, they won't be able to perform their daily works inside the system. They won't be able to perform their daily work over there. So the organization, they are also going to face this operational impacts over there. Then we are having the financial impacts. Now, since the people's, right, since the people's, they were trusting their data with this organization, right? They were trusting their data with this organization over here. So what will be happening over here is their data, it is getting leaked. Now let's say this website, it was holding the data about our movies script, it was holding our new songs over there, it was holding some movies inside it. So what do you say, like if in the internet you guys will be finding a movie before the release date, you guys are finding a movie over there in the internet, right? And the HD print, the directors, the producers, they have trusted this organization with their data. And if their movie, it will be releasing before the release date, what will be happening is it is not going to earn that much in the theater. So over here, the organization, they are also going to face the financial impacts. After this, we are having the legal impacts. Right now, since this organization, it was responsible for taking care of the data of these users over here. So these users, what they will be doing is they are going to file, right? They are going to sue this organization over here, right? So over here, what will be happening is the organization, they are also going to face some legal impacts over there, right? So these are our four major impacts of our cyber attacks. Then after this, we are having this protecting the personal and the organizational data. Yeah, biometrics, address, the card information, digital signatures we are having, username and the passwords, right? So over here, as you are saying, we are having the types of personal data we are having, right? And the very first, like we are having the PII. And the very first, we are having the PII, which stands for your personally identifiable information, right? Like we are having our name, our address, our phone number, our identity card number, our social security number, right? Or the information we are having in our cards, the debit cards or the credit cards. So what we have to do is we have to be cautious while we are sharing our personally identifiable information online over there, right? We have to avoid providing unnecessary personal details on the websites or in the social medias, right? Along with that, we have to use the privacy settings to control who can access your information, right? Then we are having our financial information, right? We are having our bank account details, we are having our credit card numbers, right? So for that, what we have to do is we have to use a secure website for our online transaction, right? We are regularly going to monitor our bank statements, and along with that, we are also going to set up the alerts for any sort of suspicious activities, and we will be enabling the two-factor authentication for your added security, right? Like if you will be performing any sort of financial transaction over there, if you are performing any sort of financial transaction over there, then over here, that website, it should be asking you, right? It should be asking you to, you can say, uh, to write the OTP over there or to confirm this transaction by the mail or by the call, right? So over there, from there, you will be choosing the options like your OTP, right? You will be choosing the OTP. So over here, you will be selecting the OTP. Then in your device, you guys will be getting the OTP. Then you will be filling the OTP over there. And after that, your transaction will be completed, right? And along with that, we are having our login credentials, the username and the passwords we are having. For that, we have to create the unique password for each and every online accounts we are having. Okay, so let me write it over here. As you are saying, we should be having the combination of the uppercase and the lowercase. P A S S W O R D. So what do you say? Is it looking secure over here? Like for the example. No, right? It is not looking secure. So as you are saying, what we will be doing is we should be having the length, right? From your 8 to 15 characters over there, right? And what we have to do is we have to create a unique password, which will be containing our uppercase, our lowercase, along with that, our special characters we are having, right? Then our numerics we are having, right? So over here, our password, it should be having the combination of our uppercase, the lowercase, the special characters, numerics over there, right? And over there, what we will be doing is we will be creating the individual credential for each and every online account we are having, right? So what we have to do, we have to avoid using the same password across the multiple accounts, right? For that, we can also use a password manager, which will be securely storing and managing our password instead of writing our password in the notebooks, in our, you can say, messages. Because generally what we are doing is we are creating the password, which we can easily remember, right? So we have to follow these practices over there. Along with that, we are also having our health information, right? Like we are having our medical histories, the prescriptions we are having our health insurance details, right? So we have to limit sharing the health information online over there. We have to use the secure and the reputable healthcare websites, right? Along with that, we have to be cautious about our emails or our messages requesting our sensitive health data, right? Along with that, we have to also verify the source before providing any information over there, right? For that, we are having our PHI, right? We are having our PHI, which stands for your protected health information, right? So over here, what we have to do is we have to secure our PHI, the protective health information we are having. Okay. After this, we are also having our location data, like our GPS coordinates, right? We are also having our checks in your social media. Like if you guys will be opening your Facebook, right? Over there, you guys will be able to find this checks in, right? You guys will be find the different location where you have visited over there, right? So for that, what you guys will be doing is you will be disabling the location services for the application that do not require it. Along with that, you have to be also mindful like what location data you share on social media platform. You have to review and adjust the location settings on your devices over there, right? You will be reviewing into the application whether they really need this location access or not. Like let's say if I'm having a calculator and it is having the permission for using my microphone, for using my camera, for using my location. Are they necessary information? No, right? Our calculator, it do not require these sort of information over there. So we have to do what? We have to, you can say, look into our applications also. Like whenever we are installing any application, generally the people's what they are doing is they are, you can say, quickly clicking on the next option. So what we have to do, we have to read the permissions clearly, and we have to decide over there whether that particular application it requires those permissions or not, right? We are having our biometric data also, right? We are having our biometric data like our fingerprints, our facial recognition data we are having, right? For that, we will be using the biometric features only on the trusted devices we are having, right? We have to be cautious about granting the biometric access to our third party application, right? Along with that, we are regularly going to update our device security setting, right? Along with that, like we should be also following the safe browsing practices over there, right? So over here our browser it will be having our information about the browsing history we are having, right? And also it will be also having the information about our search queries, right? For that, what we will be doing is we will be using the private browsing modes whenever it is necessary, right? Along with that, we will be also clearing our browser history regularly, right? And we have to be cautious whenever we are clicking on any sort of suspicious link, For that, we will be also using the reputable antivirus software to protect against the malwares we are having, right? And we have to also be mindful whenever we are sharing any information in our social media platforms, right? Like our photos, our posts, our personal interest, right? For that, we will be adjusting the privacy setting on our social media platforms so that we can control who can see our information. Like you guys have seen on the social media and the Facebook and the Instagram, we are having the private accounts, right? So we have to adjust our privacy setting over there, right? And we will be being mindful of the content which we are sharing to avoid you can say sharing our sensitive, you can say personal details publicly over there, right? So in simple way, we have to stay informed about the latest cybersecurity practices we are having. We have to keep our software and the device up to date, right? We have to be cautious about sharing our personal information online, right? Because these are the essential steps we are having which will be helping us to safeguard our devices, right? Our, you can say, personal data from the cyber attacks over there, right? Additionally, we will be using the security features like we are having the two-factor authentication, we are having the multi-factor authentication over there, right? So these are the types of personal data we are having. Now, when we are talking about protecting our personal and the organizational data, right? Over there, we have to, you can say, adopt some practical measures to protect our sensitive information because it is very critical over there nowadays. For that, we will be employing the strong password, we will be employing the multi-factor authentication, right? We will be creating the complex password. So the complex password, they will be adding the extra layer of security with our multi-factor authentication, right? So when we are talking about the two-factor authentication or the multi-factor authentication, it is going to require the user to give the password more than one time for accessing it. For that, they can also use the push notification, they can also use the phone's fingerprint, they can say some other types also, right? And they should be regularly performing the software updates, right? Keeping our operating system, our application up to date, right? To patch the security vulnerabilities we are having. Like over here, you guys have seen in our mobile phone, right? So over there, we will be getting the updates, right? In our systems, we are getting the updates, but I have seen many a times the peoples they are ignoring those updates, right? The peoples they are ignoring the updates. But as I was saying that our updates, they will be containing the patches for previously discovered vulnerabilities we are having, right? So as soon as our system it is prompting a, you can say, to install update over there, right? We should be, you can say, updating our you can say systems promptly over there, right? Along with that, we also need to use encryption to protect our data, right? So over there, what we will be doing is we will be converting our data into some unreadable format, right? And over there, that particular encrypted data, it can be accessed by only the authorized individuals who are having the decryption key. Like we are using WhatsApp over here, right? We are using WhatsApp over here. Now, this WhatsApp, if you will be scrolling down, right, then it will be saying that it is using the end-to-end encryption over there, right? So over here, our WhatsApp, it is ensuring that only the intended receivers they can read our message over there, right? We have to be cautious with the emails and the links, right? We have to avoid clicking on the suspicious link, right? We have to avoid clicking on the suspicious link, right? We have to be cautious with the unexpected emails we are having. Like many a time you guys will be finding that we are receiving the email, right? Which will be claiming that we have won a lottery, that we have never entered over there. So it is what it is likely a scam over there. So what we have to do is we do not need to click on those link, or we do not have to provide the personal information over there, right? Along with that, we will be also performing the backup, right? Regularly, we will be performing the backup of our data, right? We will be saving our copies of our, you can say, important data in case of some unexpected events we are having, right? Like incidents we are having, the data loss we are having, the cyber attacks we are having, right? Like over here, we are using the Google Drive, right? We are also having the external hard drives. So inside those places, what we are doing is we are storing our data. Let's say my laptop, it will be getting compromised over here. So what I will be doing is I will be using the Google Drive. I will be using my external hard drive over there to recover that data, right? We can also use VPNs over here, right? We can also use VPNs over here, which will be encrypting our internet connection for a secure online activities over there. Like over here, nowadays, the peoples, they are working remotely, right? They are connecting to the, you can say, public Wi-Fi over there, right? So over there, using a VPN, right, it will be ensuring that your data is encrypted, and it will be also preventing the unauthorized access over there, right? Then over here, like we are having our mobile phones, we are having our computers. Now, many a time you will be noticing that the peoples, they are leaving their mobile phones, their computers, and the table over there in their desk, right? So what we have to do over there is we have to educate them, right? We have to give them the training. Like if we will be leaving our mobile phone and our tablet open, right? If I will be leaving our computer and the, you can say, table open over there, right? So anyone can access your data over there, right? So for that, what we will be doing is we are going to lock it, our devices, with the pin, with the fingerprint, for some additional securities over there. Like even over there, our device, it is, you can say, left in our desk, then no unauthorized person will be able to access my system over there, right? And in the last, we will be periodically reviewing and assessing our security measures to identify, to fix the potential vulnerabilities. Just like we are having the health checkup, right? Just like we are going for the health checkup on the periodic basis over there, right? So same like we will be conducting the security audits, which will be ensuring our systems are robust and they all are secure over there. So that is how we can protect our person and the organizational data. After this, we are having some common cyber threats. So over here, in the very first, we are having the vulnerabilities, which we have already discussed. Vulnerability is what? Any flaw or a weakness which can be exploited, right? The attacker, it can take the advantage of that particular vulnerability to get the access of our system. That is what known as your vulnerability over there, right? So after this, we are having the business email compromise. Great. So over here, we are having our business email compromise, right? So over here, inside this attack, the attacker, they will be using deceitful tactics to manipulate our, you can say, email communication for their gain, right? So over there in this attack, the attackers, they will be trying to get the unauthorized access to our business email account. And once they will be getting the access of our business email account, they will be using the various sort of tactics to deceive our employees, our clients, our partners into taking the actions which will be benefiting the attacker over there. Like over here, The attackers, they can perform the email spoofing. The attackers, they can perform the email spoofing over there, right? For that, generally they will be using our high ranking executive, right? For that, they will be impersonating our high ranking executives or our trusted parties. Then they will be trying to manipulate the email address to make it look like the email which is coming from the original source over here, right? And along with that, they are also using, right, they are also you can say using our emails over there, right, for the deceptive content. For that, they will be writing some convincing language, they will be writing the urgent requests we are having, or some official looking content we are having, right? So over here, these requests, they can also, you can say, contain our, you can say, fund transfer, our wire transfer, or changes to our sensitive information, or the sharing of our confidential data, right? Along with that, the attackers, they can also gain the access to our employees email account through the method like our phishing or the malware. And once they will be getting inside over there, they can exploit the trust which is being associated with that account over there, right? Like over here, we are having the attack with the name CEO scam. We are having this attack with the name CEO scam over here. Now, let's say we are having an employee who is working in the front office. Now, one day, let's say he will be receiving an email, and this email, it will be saying that it is coming from the CEO directly. So, what do you say? How this employee he will be reacting once he will be finding that he is getting the mail from directly from the CEO over there? So, in a simple way, we can say he will be getting flustered over there, right? The employee, he will be getting flustered. He will be thinking that his job is done, right? He will be thinking that his job is done over there. He will be getting fired, right? But once he will be opening the email, right? Once he will be opening the email over here. So let's say that email, it is saying that there is a person standing just outside the gate. Can you please pay him this amount of money? And you can say some busy schedule over here. So now this employee, what he will be thinking that he is receiving the mail from directly from the CEO, right? So what he will be doing is he will be quickly doing this work, right? He will be quickly doing this work to impress the CEO over here. But this email, it is coming from the attackers, right? For that, the attackers, what they are doing is they are stealing the headers of the CEO's mail over there, right? Along with that, the attackers, they are also using this BEC over here for the invoice fraud, for the invoice fraud over here. For that, the attackers, they will be compromising one of the vendors email we are having, right? They will be compromising one of the vendors mail, and then they will be sending a modified invoice with some altered payment detail, which is going to direct the funds, right? Which is going to direct the funds to the attacker's account over here, right? So over here, to mitigating this BEC risk, right? To mitigating this business email compromise risk over here, right? We can implement the email authentication. We can have the employee training over there, right? We will be verifying the protocols we are using over there, especially for the financial transactions or for our sensitive information requests which we have received in the mail, right? We will be enabling the multi-factor authentication to add an extra layer of security, which will be making it harder for the unauthorized users to access our email account. Like even the attacker, he got to know about our username and the password, then he won't be able to get the access of our system. Why? Because we have enabled the multi-factor authentication. Like once we will be putting this password over there, right? Once we will be putting the password over there to log in into our account, then over here, that particular system, it will be sending us the notification, like it will be sending us the OTP, it will be sending us the push notification, right? It will be asking that are you the really one who is trying to access your account? From there, you will be clicking on the yes, and then you will be getting the access of your account, right? You can also use the email filtering. We can also use the email filtering solutions over there, which will be helping us to detect and block the phishing attempts and sort of, you can say, suspicious emails over there. After this, we are having the crime as service. So over here, when we are talking about this crime as service, right? So over here, our attackers, they will be providing the illegal services like hacking tools, the stolen data we are having on the dark web, right? And also they will be also allowing others to commit the cyber crimes without any technical expertise, right? Like as you are saying, the attackers, they will be selling this ransomware as a service on the dark web, which will be allowing even the non-technical individuals to launch the ransomware attacks over there, right? So we can consider this crime as a service as a crime store where the individuals with some malicious intention, they can purchase the ready-made tools, the services to commit various types of cyber crimes over there, right? So over here, our crime as a service, it is offering us your ransomware as a service, right? Along with that, it will be also offering us the stolen credit card information, the login credentials, the personal data for sale, right? Which can be used for your identity theft, fraud, or for some other malicious activities, right? Along with that, it is also offering us the access to botnets. Like previously, we were discussing about your bot. Bot is what? A single compromised computer which can be controlled remotely. But a botnet is what? It is a collection of your bots, right? A collection of your bot. It is known as your botnets over here, right? So the botnets, they can be used for your large scale attacks, like we are having the DDoS attack over there. So mitigating this crime as a service over here, mitigating this crime as a service over here, right? We have to perform the awareness, right? We have to educate the individuals, the businesses over there about the existence and the risk this crime as a service it is offering over there, right? So our awareness, it is the first line of defense we are having. Along with that, we have to implement the advanced cybersecurity solutions, which can help us to detect and prevent any sort of unauthorized activities, especially which are associated with our crime as a service over there, right? And then over here, our authorities, right, they also have to work to identify, to shut down any sort of illegal your cash operations we are having. And we have to also report any suspicious activity which can contribute to these efforts, right? So that is what our crime as a service. After this, we are having the supply chain attack. So in the supply chain attack, the attackers, they will be targeting the vulnerabilities in a supply chain. They will be compromising our software, the hardware to infiltrate our organizations indirectly. Like we are having the malwares, the malicious code, right? So attackers, what they will be doing is they will be inserting the malicious code inside the software update, right? Now that software update, it is going to compromise every system which is installing that update over there. So that is what our supply chain attack. Then we are having the cloud based attack. Okay, see, nowadays what is happening is our business, our organization, they are heavily relying on our cloud services. So the threat of our cloud based attack, it is also blooming, right? So in this cloud-based attack, what will be happening is the attacker, they will be performing the malicious activities, which is specifically targeting our cloud infrastructure, our services, our applications over there, right? Like we are having the data breaches, right? So previously we were having the attack, right? Previously we were having the attack on your 2017 over there, right? With the name your Equifax, right? So over there, that particular data breach, it exposed the personal information of your millions of individuals by exploiting a vulnerability in the web application, which was hosted on the cloud, right? So the attacker, they can get the unauthorized access to our cloud storage, our database, and compromising our sensitive information over there, right? Previously in your 2019, right, our GitHub, it has also experienced the DDoS attack over there, right, which has distributed its services, right? So the attackers that targeted the GitHub's infrastructure, which was hosted on the cloud platform, right? For that, the attacker, they will be flooding the cloud-based service, right, with some overwhelming number of traffic, which will be making that particular, you can say, service unavailable for the legitimate users. As you are saying, we are having the API vulnerabilities over there also, right? So in our cloud interface, or we can say in our, you can say, API, right? They are also getting exploited for getting the unauthorized access over there, right? So the attackers, what they are doing is they are, you can say, looking for the misconfiguration we are having, like in our firewall or in our cloud over there, right? Which will be allowing the attackers to get the access of our sensitive customer data through an API over there, right? As you are saying, we are also having the account hijacking, right? So like our Twitter, it has also faced this account hijacking over there, right? So over there, the attackers, they use the social engineering to gain the access to the internal tools which are being hosted in our cloud, right? So the attacker, they can gain the control of the user account by exploiting the weak credentials or the techniques like phishing over there, right? And one of the major attacks we are having, right? So it is one of the major threat we are having is your malicious insider over there, right? We are having the malicious insiders over there. Yeah, sure. So over here, when we are talking about the vulnerability, vulnerability is what? It is a weakness, right? It is a weakness. We are having a flaw. We are having in our system security, which can be taken advantage by the attacker, right? By the threat, right? So let's take an example over here. Like let's say we are having a house, right? It will be having a door, right? Which is not closed properly over there, which is not locked properly. So that particular, you can say, lock, that particular faulty lock, it can be a vulnerability because it is creating a weakness which can be exploited by the intruder to gain the access to our house. But on the other hand, when we are talking about the threat is word which is having the potential to exploit the vulnerability and cause harm to our system or the organization. In the simple way, we can say threat is what it is, you can say, which can actually alter our asset value, right? So using the same analogy of our house, right? So over here, when we are talking about the threat, so over there, right, the peoples, they can see the faulty lock which we are having the vulnerability. So over there, the, you can say, peoples, what they will be doing is the malicious, the peoples who are having the malicious intention, right, they will be using this vulnerability over there to break in, right, to steal our valuable, you can say, uh, things we are having inside our house. So over there, you can say that particular malicious person, he is the threat because he's having the potential to exploit the vulnerability in our house security we are having, right? So over here, we are having the insider threats, right? So when we are talking about the insider threat, right, they are also known as your disgruntled employee. And a simple way, we can say the insider threats are what? These are the disgruntled employees we are having, right? The employees who are not happy with the organization, not happy with the politics they are having around them inside the organization over there, they are not happy with their manager, then they tend to become disgruntled over there, right? So the insider threats, right, they will be having the malicious intention and they will be trying to misuse their privileges to compromise the data, to disrupt the services we are having, right? Like and many of the organization, if you guys will be going into the internet, right, so over there you will be finding that the insider threats, right, they are sabotaging the company's manufacturing softwares, right, which are being hosted on the cloud, right? So mitigating these cloud based attack we are having, right, for that what we can do, we can implement the strong encryption for our data which is in the rest, right, which we are having in the storage or the data which is moving over there and the transit, right? And over there we will be also implementing a strong access control, right? We will be setting the access controls to ensure that only the authorized users they can access our sensitive information over there, right? We will be conducting the regular audits of our cloud infrastructures to identify, to address the vulnerabilities, which can include like reviewing the configurations, the access permissions we are having. Along with that, we can also enable the multi-factor authentication, which will be adding an extra layer of security, requiring the users to provide the multiple form of identification for proving themselves. Right, we will be educating the employees on recognizing and avoiding the phishing attempts, which will be also promoting a good security practice, such as using a strong, unique passwords over there. Right. After this, we are having our data center attacks. So this data center attack, it will be involving the activities which are being aimed to compromise the security, the integrity, or the availability of our data center's resource over there, right? So inside this, we are having types of data center attack. Like we are having our physical attacks, right? So over here, the attacker, they will be trying to gain the physical access of our data center to steal, to damage, or to manipulate our hardware components, right? Like previously on attack, right, which was happened around year 2014, right? So over there, what they were having is they were having the this physical attack, right, in which the attackers they have theft the you can say servers they were having. Right. For that, we should be having the physical security measures. We should be having the access controls, the surveillance, right? So these are crucial for our defense. Along with that, we are having the DDoS attacks, right, in which the attacker they will be trying to overwhelm our data centers network with a flood of traffic, which will be making their services unavailable, right? Then we are having our malwares and the ransomware attack. We are having our malwares and the ransomware attack over here. So what do you say, guys? Are we having any guarantee? Like even after paying the ransom, the attackers they are going to give us our data back? No, right? So over here, when we are talking about this malware and the ransomware attack, right? So over here, the malicious, the malwares over there, they can infiltrate our data center system, right? And they will be having the aim of encrypting our data and demanding for the ransom over there, right? Like previously, we were having the ransomware attack. We were having the ransomware attack like the name NotPetya, right? So this NotPetya over here, it was the ransomware attack which was happened on year 2017, and it has impacted lots of organization around the world, right? It has affected our data centers, right? So for that, for mitigating this ransomware, we should be having the regular system updates and the backup. They are crucial for the defense against the ransomware because we are not having any guarantee, Like even after paying the money to the attackers, they will be giving us our data back. No, right? And many of the attacks, the attacker, what they are doing is, let's say this is our system. Now, the attacker, they are going to encrypt this system. And now they will be asking for the ransom. Now, this organization, what they have done is they have given the money to the attacker. They have given the money to the attacker. But in the background, what the attacker they are doing is they are also using the vipers, right? We are having with the name cleaners, or you guys have heard about the shamoon, right? So these are what these are, you can say our cleaners, right? Our vipers we are having. Now, this cleaner will be doing what? It is going to wipe out all the data we are having inside the system. So these are also the chances behind the ransomware attack over there, right? So to protecting against the data center attacks, we should be implementing the multi-layered security. We should be implementing the multi-layered security over there. Like we will be including our firewalls, our intrusion detection system, the prevention system, the access control, right? Which will be helping us to fortify the data center's defense over there, right? We will be regularly auditing, performing the vulnerability assessment over there, which will be helping us to identify and address the weakness before actually they can be exploited by the attacker, right? We will be establishing a backup and a recovery plan over there to ensure that we are having the quick restoration of our services in case of a successful cyber attack over there. We will be educating the data center personals over there on the security best practices, and we will be trying to raise the awareness about potential threats like phishing attempts we are having. These are what our data center attacks we are having. After this, we have discussed about the ransomware. Then we are having the IoT device hacking, right? The Internet of Things, right? So over here, these IoT devices, they have provided us the best, you can say one of the best connectivity and the convenience in our daily lives. But it has also introduced some of the new challenges, like including the risk of our IoT device hacking over there, right? So in this, the attacker he will be trying to get the unauthorized access, or he will be trying to manipulate our IoT device over there, right? So our IoT devices they will be ranging from our smart you can say thermostats over there to our security cameras to our you can say connected appliances we are having. Now they all can be exploited by the attackers to gain control, to steal data, or to disrupt their intended functionalities we are having, right? So over here, the attackers they can exploit the vulnerabilities in our IoT device security to gain the unauthorized access. Like previously, uh, we were having a botnet with the name you can say Mirai, right? We were having previously a botnet with the name Mirai. So it targeted our IoT devices, and over there, you can say the attacker it was able to you can say gain the control to launch the large scale DDoS attack. So for that, we should be implementing the strong authentication. We should be going with the regular software updates to mitigate these sort of risk, right? Along with that, the attackers, they are trying to breach the IoT devices to steal sensitive data, like our personal information, our login credentials over there, right? So over here, we are having our cameras, right? We are having our network cameras. So what the attacker will be doing is if they are able to get the access of them, then they are going to spy on our household. So for that, we should be having a proper encryption. We should be using the secure communication protocol, which will be helping to protect against this sort of data theft over there, right? The attackers, they can also manipulate our IoT devices to cause physical harm, to disrupt our services or to engage in some other malicious activities over there, right? And most ofly the attackers, they are using the IoT device, right, in the botnets, right? They are recruiting our IoT devices inside the botnets for performing the large scale cyber attacks, right? So over here, to mitigating these, you can say IoT device hacking, we should be changing the default credentials. Many a times the peoples, they are using the default credentials on their IoT devices. So what we should be doing over there is we have to, you can say, change the default credential. We have to adapt a unique and the strong credential, right? We have to regularly update our device firmware to patch vulnerabilities to enhance the security over there, right? Along with that, we can also perform the network segmentation, right? We are going to simply isolate our IoT device on a separate network, which will be also minimizing the impact of a potential compromise, right? And over here, we have to also choose our IoT device, right? Our reputable IoT device manufacturer over there that are prioritizing on the security and they are providing our regular updates and the support. Then after this, we are having your state sponsored cyber warfare, right? So in the state sponsored, we can say these are the government hackers we are having, the people who are being employed by the government, either by the state or by the national government over there, or by your country government. Basically, when the government is paying for them to spy over other governments' activity, other, you can say, states' activity, other nations' activity over there, right? So over here, the governments, they are using the cyber warfare to achieve the political goals, such as influencing their elections, shaping their public opinions, or gaining the strategic advantage over there, right? So this state-sponsored cyber warfare, it will be representing a sort of digital conflict we are having, where our governments, our nation states, right, they will be engaging in the cyber activities to achieve their, you can say, strategic objective like political motivation, right, or for some long-term planning. Right. So over here, our state-sponsored cyber operation, they are being characterized by the long-term planning, right, which will be involving like our footprinting, which we have done, the information gathering, and careful execution to achieve their influence over there. Along with that, we are having our APTs, the advanced persistent threat. Okay, so over here, when we are talking about the APT, APT is like a persistent, right? APT is like a persistent attack over there, right? Your advanced persistent threat, right? In which the attackers, they will be trying to compromise a target, right? A victim system, and they will be trying to stay inside the victim system for an extended period of time, like for years, right? So that is what your APT over here. Like previously, I saw a message for your Stuxnet, right? So Stuxnet, it was also a state-sponsored APT, which was being designed to target the Iran's nuclear program over there, right? So that is what our APT over here. So in this, you can say state-sponsored cyber warfare, the you can say the operation, they are being categorized by the long-term planning we are having, right? For that, you can say these state-sponsored actors, they will be possessing sophisticated cyber tools, the techniques like our zero-day exploit or our advanced persistent threat over there, right? So over here, our state-sponsored cybercrime, our cyber warfare, right? It is continuously evolving, right? It is becoming, you can say, imperative nowadays for our global community. right? So it is providing us a challenge over there. So what we have to do is we have to adopt the proactive security measures, right? We have to promote the international cooperation over there. We have to stay vigilant in our digital realm, right? And the nation, they can also strive to mitigate the potential risk which are being posed by the state sponsored cyber threats we are having, right? For that, we will be deploying the advanced cybersecurity measures like the threat intelligence to detect and to mitigate the s- state-sponsored cyber threats over there. We can also enhance the abilities to attribute the cyber attacks to specific actors, which will be also improving our accountability and the deterrence over there, right? We will be reinforcing the international legal framework for addressing the state-sponsored cyber activities to establish the consequences for the violators over there. So these are some types of threats we are having. After this, we are having the attack vectors. So when we are talking about the attack vectors, yeah, the attack vectors are what? These are the entry points we are having for the attackers, right? A pathway through which, or you can say a method through which the attacker, he will be performing the attack. He will be trying to compromise our system, our network over there, our devices. Like over here, you can see we are having the phishing, right? So over here, what will be happening is the attacker, he will be creating a phishing email, right? He will be creating a phishing email which will be saying that it is coming from a bank and it is looking for some urgency, right? It is asking for some urgency over there, right? So when the user, he will be opening that particular mail, right? Over there, he will be finding that that particular mail, it is saying that you urgently you need to update your password. For that, it will be asking him to click on the links which will be taking you the fake website, and after that the attacker, he will be gaining the access of your credentials over here, and then he can also escalate his privileges. So that is what your attack vector we are having, right? Along with that, we are having the malicious websites, right? So over here, what we will be doing is many a time we are trying to download the games, right? Many a times we are trying to download the games from the third party applications, right? Like previously the PUBG, it was got banned, right? So after that, the peoples, they were going simply going into the internet, and from there they were trying to download the PUBG, right? Through the help of your VPN, right? So for that, they were, you can say surfing from your website to website. Now over here, what can happen is that particular site, it was having a malware, right? Which is, you can say, lurking in the shadows, and it is ready to infect your device. So that is how the malware can also infect our system, right? We are also having the infected USB drives. Like previously, what was happening is like whenever we have to, you can just share the games with our friends. So for that, we were using the pen drives for sharing the games, right? So what will be happening is, let's say that particular pen drive, it is having some virus, right? And we will be plugging that pen drive inside our system, and see our system, it will be getting compromised by that particular malware over there. Or let's say we are, you can say, going for a morning walk, and over there we will be finding a pen drive, right? We will be finding a pen drive over there. So what do you say, guys? Are you going to pick this pen drive or not? Let's say the size it is having is around your 64 GB, right? It is known as your baiting. So what the attacker will be doing is he will be leaving the pen drive, the memory cards, the, you can say, hard disk over there, right? Like on our parking areas. So let's say an employee, he will be coming and he will be finding that particular pen drive, right? So what he is going to do, he is going to pick that pen drive. Reason? Out of the curiosity. He is not before like what is the cost of that particular pen drive. Is not because you can say the size of the pen drive. He is picking that particular pen drive because of the curiosity, like what sort of data it is having inside that particular pen drive. So over here, he will be quickly picking the pen drive, then he will be going inside the office, and then he will be plugging that pen drive inside his system. So what will be happening is that particular malware, let's say that particular pen drive, it is containing a auto executable malware. So it will be getting executed, and there can be also chances that the other systems we are having in our network, they can also get compromised by that malware over there. These are the, you can say, different attack vectors we are having, right? Along with that, we are also having the social engineering, right? Now, and the social engineering, what will be happening is the attacker, they will be impersonating as our friends, as our colleagues over there, right? And then they will be, you can say, calling us, they will be messaging us, and they will be requesting for some sensitive information, right? So over there, unknowingly, what we will be doing is we can share our crucial details, right? And by that, we are opening the door for the attackers over there, right? So over here, when we are talking about the attack surfaces, right? Attack surfaces are what? These are the sum of all the potential entry points we are having that the attackers he can exploit to compromise our system, our device. Like we are having the software vulnerabilities, we are having the weak password. So they will be considered as the attack surface. Right? So this attack vector, it will be focusing on the specific methods we are having, which are being used by the attacker to compromise the system. But on the other hand, your attack surfaces, it will be, you can say, encompassing all the landscape, the entire landscape of the potential entry points that the attacker can exploit over there. So over here, our cyber criminals or our attackers, right? They will be using different strategies to exploit the vulnerabilities and to gain the unauthorized access to our systems, our networks, and our data. And for that, they will be following some steps, right? And the very first, we are having your footprinting, in which the attackers they will be trying to gather as much information as they can about the victim over there. Now it is also known as your reconnaissance, and it is also known as your information gathering, right? So in this, they will be trying to narrow down the search area, right? After performing the footprinting, right? Over here, what will be happening is it is not like that they will be able to gather the information from the single source, no, right? For that, they will be moving into the multiple places. They will be noting down all those information over here, right? And in the scanning, they will be, you can say, filtering out the information. It is not like that all the information which we have gathered, it is all relevant over there, right? We will be also filtering out the information. So in the footprinting, generally, we will be gathering the information about the network infrastructure, the IP address, the domain name, the email information about the employees, right? After this, we are having the scanning, and thus the attackers, they will be, you can say, trying to get the information about the victim, right? So the very first thing they will be grabbing is they will be looking over here is whether the victim is live or not. Live means to say whether it is connected to the internet, whether it is, you can say, powered on or not, right? And once they are gathering all these information, then they will be looking what are the ports and services that are running over here. Great. So when we are talking about the ports, ports are what? Ports are the gateways through which a computer it will be providing its services. Like as you are saying, we are having the different ports. Like we are having the port number 80, which we are using for your HTTP. We are having your port number 443, which we are using for your HTTPS, and many more. right? So over here, we will be trying to gather the information about the ports and the services that are running in the victim system, right? And once we will be gathering the information about the ports and services, right? And the next thing we will be looking for the vulnerabilities, right? What are the vulnerabilities which are associated in this services, right? We will be looking for the vulnerable service over here, right? Like let's say, and the victim system, your FTP is running, your telnet is working. So what do you say? Are these the, you can say, secure protocol or not? Your HTTP. What do you say, guys? They are not the secure protocol, right? So over here, what will be happening is the attacker, right? He can also intercept the messages over there, right? He can intercept the messages over there. So over here, let's say you're trying to log in into your telnet. You're trying to log in into a telnet. So simply the attacker, he will be coming, right? He will be, you can say, intercepting the request. He will be sniffing into your network, right? Sniffing means to say like monitoring and capturing all the data packets which are traveling through the network over there, right? Traveling through the given network over there, right? So over there, he will be using the application. He can also use the uh, softwares, the hardware systems for them, right? For performing the sniffing, right? So once he will be performing the sniffing, then he will be getting the username and the password, right? He will be getting the username and the password of the victim, right? And once he is getting the username and the password, he can then try to get the access. Then he will be trying to get the access with the telnet over there, right? So these are the, you can say, vulnerable services we are having, right? After this, and the third step, we will be having our gaining access, right? And the third, we are having our gaining access over here. So in this, the attacker, he has discovered the vulnerabilities which are being associated over there with the services, and now he will be trying to take the advantage of those vulnerabilities over there, right? For that, he is going to exploit them, the previously discovered vulnerabilities. And once he will be getting the access of the victim's system, right? He will be trying to escalate his privileges, right? As I was saying that previously, what will be happening is we will be getting the user access, right? So now over here, the attacker, he will be trying to get the admin's access on the victim system. So that is whatever privilege escalation over here, right? So over here, he will be trying to get the admin's access, right? Then he will be, you can say, also he can also perform some other malicious activities over here, right? Like exfiltrating the data, or some, you can say, installing some additional malwares inside the victim system, right? After that, once the victim is getting the access of the once the attacker is getting the access of the victim system, then we will be having the step with the name maintaining access over here, right? So over here, what will be happening is once the victim, he will be getting the idea that something fishy is going on with his computer. How? By going through the logs, right? By going through the, you can say, the traffic over there, right? He will be monitoring the traffic. Then he will be finding that he is having the huge, you can say, spike of the traffic when he was not using his system, right? He will be looking into the task manager. He will be looking for the process over there. Then he will be getting the idea that something fishy is going on with the system. So then after that, he will be trying to locate the attacker, and then he will be trying to throw him out from his system, right? But the attacker, he do not want to, you can say, get thrown out from the system. For that, what he will be doing is he is going to install some additional malwares, right? He will be installing some additional malwares, or you can simply say he will be creating a stronghold, He will be creating a stronghold in the victim system, a persistent over there, unless and until he will be reaching his goal over there, right? And after the maintaining access, we are having the next step, which is your covering tracks. So over here, from your footprinting till your maintaining access, whatever thing the attacker he was doing, right? Whatever thing the attacker he was doing in the victim system, logs will be generated. And your logs, they are considered as the treasure trove for the forensic guys. Right, so over there, if the attacker he do not want to get caught, what he will be doing is he will be trying to, you can say, delete the logs. Like, let's say over here, what we are having is we are having a physical class, right? We all are sitting together over here. We are having the physical class over here. So over here, what I will be doing is I will be coming and I will be asking, like, can you guys show me your mobile phone? Right? I will be asking, can you guys show me your mobile phone over there? Right? So once you guys will be showing me your mobile phone, then I can tell like to whom you guys have spoken last night, what was the duration of the call, right? What was the timing of the call? How I'm getting all those information going through the call logs, right? So same thing what we are having in the covering tracks. So the attacker, what he will be doing is he will be also erasing the evidence of compromise, right? So that is how the attacker he will be exploiting the vulnerabilities we are having, right? That is how he will be exploiting the vulnerabilities we are having, right? This is the, you can say, these are the steps the attackers he will be following whenever he is, you can say, performing any, you can say, cyber attack over there, right? So for that, the attacker he can use your different methods, like he can use the zero-day exploits, which will be targeting the vulnerabilities in our softwares on our hardware that are unknown to the public, to the vendor over there, right? And he can perform the phishing attack where he will be, you can say, tricking the individuals into giving their sensitive information by by clicking or by making them click on the malicious link, which will be, you can say, distributing the malware inside the system, right? He can perform the attacks like we are having the brute force attack, right? So in the brute force attack, what the attacker will be doing is first he will be gathering the information about the victim, right? He will be collecting the information about the victim, and depending upon the, you can say, information, he will be creating some guessable username and the password, right? He will be creating some guessable username and the password. Then he will be using those guessable username and the password in the repetitive manner, right? He will be performing this attack until he will be finding the correct one over there. So that is what we are having, the brute force attack, right? He can also perform the man in the middle attack, which is also known as your monkey in the middle attack, right? In which he will be just sitting between the two parties. He will be sitting between the two parties, and whatever data they are sharing back and forth, the attacker he will be able to grab them, right? That particular data, this attacker over here, what he will be doing is he will be making these users to send the data through this attacker over here. Then once this data it will be going through this attacker over here, then this attacker he will be able to see whatever data they are sending back and forth, right? He will be, you can say, positioning himself between the communication path. Then he will be eavesdropping, or he can also alter the data which is getting exchanged. We are having the social engineering. So social engineering is what it is, an art to convince the people to tell us their confidential information, their sensitive information, right? So the attackers, right, what they will be doing is they will be hacking, right? They will be, you can say, using this social engineering over there, right? They will be trying to manipulate the psychologically, they will be trying to manipulate to deceive the victims over there into providing the access of their credential or their confidential information, because we humans, we are considered as the weakest link in the organization, right? For that they can perform the impersonation, like they will be uh, representing, right? They will be, you can say, posing as a, you can say, some support team over there, right, from the organization, and they will be asking for the details, right? They will be claiming that there is a, you can say, security issue, right? And then after that they will be asking for the, you can say, credentials of our account, our system over there, and once we will be giving him the access of our system, then he will be performing his malicious actions. Like nowadays what the attackers they are doing is they are posing as the IT support representative over there, right? They will be calling us, they will be, you can say, telling that in our system we are having this sort of, you can say, problem, right? And they will be saying that you just need to install any disk inside your system, which will be giving the remote access to the attacker over there. So that is how they can also get the access of our system, right? So over here, how can we mitigate, you can say, these attacks? Right, so for that we will be, you can say, controlling the public information we are having. We will be limiting the amount of sensitive information to be shared online over there, right? We will be also keeping an eye on the public facing platforms to detect and address any sort of unintended information disclosure over there, right? We will be regularly scanning, we will be assessing our systems to identify and to patch the vulnerabilities before actually the attacker will be finding them, right? For that we will be, you can say, performing the configuration of our firewalls, our IDS systems, our IPS system, which will be helping to, you can say, monitor and to restrict the unauthorized access, right? We will be keeping our software up to date to patch known vulnerabilities. We will be implementing the strong password policies, and we will be using your multi-factor authentication to enhance our access control, right? We will be, you can say, limiting the user privileges to reduce the impact of the potential breach over there, right? And in the last, we will be regularly reviewing our logs, security logs, to ensure that they are not tampered over there, right? We will be having a robust incident response plan, which will be also helping us to quickly detect and to respond the security incidents we are having.